You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily, and today, being Thursday, we look at some pressing needs in our communities. This morning, we are moving to WA. Now, it looks like it's becoming very tiring, always complaining about terrible conditions, whether it's education, infrastructure, anything in the northern part of Ghana. Now, with access to education, the people of WA are crying because they have serious infrastructure issues. We go over to the community. There's a report that was put together by our correspondent, Latif Mahama. Let's take a look at this report. When we come back, we'll try to understand the situation better and find answers.
The WA East District, known as the most deprived in the Upper West region, lacks a district hospital and suffers from deplorable road conditions. Additionally, most schools lack teacher accommodation, exacerbating the challenges faced by students and teachers. In order to improve learning outcomes, the District Director of Education is making a passionate appeal to the government to intervene.
We still have deficit. You go to some of the schools and the children are still lying on their tummies. Others are sitting on kitchen stools. It's a big challenge, so I will have to ask for people, philanthropists and individuals, anybody who can help to support us in the area of the furniture. Our roads, very bad roads. Very bad roads. And some of the schools are in the very interior places. So sometimes getting teachers there is a big problem. Because if the place is far, a place you use about 30 minutes to go, you use 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours. And whatever you want to go and do there, by the time you get there, maybe closing, it's time for closing. So if you want to go to some of the places, as early as 5:30, 6, I have to leave the house, or the teachers will have to leave their houses. So that is a big challenge to us.
Despite these infrastructural hurdles and her own visual impairment, Madam Aisha Johnson has shown resilience and determination. Under her guidance, the district has consistently emerged as the best performing district in the basic education certificate examination for the past 3 years, setting a benchmark for academic achievements in the region.
The secret is effective monitoring and supervision. My officers, the CISOs, they go around their circuits and make sure that they visit every school and everything is going on right. At least we can't have a perfect situation, but they are doing their best. The officers also go around as and when is possible. I also go around. There's no village where there is a school that I have not visited with my my officers for monitoring. Sometimes you go to some of the schools and they'll say, hey, director, ever since we came to the school, no director came there. And that alone is an encouragement to the teachers. Most of the times, I talk to them to make sure they take good care of these children, teach them well, so that in future they will be better off than us. And to the children, I talk to them. I tell them I use myself as a role model. Look at me, I'm a visually impaired person, yet I'm a director. Why am I a director? It's because of education. So with their sight, they can do better than I am.
Acknowledging the invaluable support from various stakeholders, particularly the Member of Parliament for WA East, Dr. Godfrey Seydou Jassau, who has funded mock examination and provided educational materials and sanitary pads to BEC candidates, the director praised their contributions in elevating the district's educational standards.
This year, just in the last 4 or so years, we've been supporting candidates for BEC in the WA East District with mathematical sets. This because of the rural nature of our district and the fact that most of them come from poor households who are unable to afford these things. And so it's my supplementary support to these families for their kids to be able to undertake the exams in peace, and also to make sure that they have the requisite tools that will help them undertake this exam very well. And so these basket support have been going on. I've also conducted mock in the last 4 years for them, and these mock exams have always prepared them more adequately for the exam. So as they go into the exam, they are already prepared, they've seen it before, and so it helps. And that has upped our performance. Indeed, in the last four or so years, we've placed first in the region, in the Upper West region for the BEC. So these rules have been very important. But this year, what is more significant is that we are adding sanitary pads to the candidates. And out of 1,230 students, we have 537 of them that are female. So I'm supporting them with sanitary pads as well as the mathematical sets. These sanitary pads, the pack I'm giving them will last them 3 months.
Recently, Idris Abdul Latif, representing the Member of Parliament, presented 1,230 mathematical sets and 1,074 packs of sanitary pads to the District Director of Education at the Manwe Junior High School. These items will be distributed to all final year pupils ahead of this year's BECE. As the Wa East District continues to strive for better education, these efforts to address the present challenges are critical steps towards sustaining and enhancing learning outcomes in the region. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Latif Mahama, Manwe.
Right, so this is the issue. Looks like the people, have challenges, when it comes to, and I mean, it's not too surprising because the problems up north, keeps coming back to us, and this is no different. At least we have the district director, and the MP trying to cushion them a little bit, just so that they make their challenges, as individual students a bit less for them to bear.
I would like to hear from, let's say, the DCE, because as much as education falls with the Director of Education, which is under the GES, the district itself also has responsibility as far as its citizens are concerned, and that's the president's man on the ground, to find out what it is that they are doing to support education and education infrastructure within the district. So I hope we can raise him on the line and have a conversation with him. But we've been joined on the line by Aisha Jinong, who is the Madam Aisha Jinong. She is the Wa East District Director of Education. Good morning, Madam. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, in the report, we saw a number of challenges that you've been experiencing and all that. First of all, when did you take up the position of Director of Education?
Well, I was posted in 2019.
In 2019. Okay. All right. And so, in your experience, how many schools would you say are living with a lot of these challenges that need support, need help?
Thank you very much. I can give you a number of schools. Almost all the schools are having a challenge because you can't get a school that has safe furniture for the children. All these schools have furniture certificates. It's just that we value.
Okay. And so what are some of the things that you've been able to do or are in the pipeline that is to help the situation?
Well, I didn't, all that I did was, or I've been doing it, liaising with the district assembly to get us some furniture.
Yeah.
The MP too, I applied to him, and as and when we get, he supplies us. And I talked to some of the parents. Some parents are able to do at least 10 throughout the trip, some 15, some 20. But actually they are few.
Okay.
So I think that is what I'm able to do because, it's not easy. I myself cannot do the furniture for them. So I go around the district assembly. And even we have a philanthropist lawyer, which one? Last year he was able to make 303 dual dexes the part of the district. Because he comes from there
Okay.
And that was a very big gift to that part of the district.
Okay. Now, so you'll be receiving some from the district assembly?
Yes, not quite much.
Not much.
You know, their hands are also even full with so many things.
Yeah.
So even though they are doing their best, there is so much to look at it. The government of Ghana also supplies that because last year we had 200 dual desks. And even just this week, we had about 50 dual desks for a particular school, 25 for the lower primary and 25 for the upper primary. And 3 weeks ago, that same school, government sent us on furniture for the teaching.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask, have you tried maybe the approach? You know, you mentioned about the lawyer, the philanthropist lawyer who gave about 300 desks. Have you maybe thought of reaching out to other citizens or let me say indigents of Y East who may be doing well in life, they're living other places, maybe outside the country or maybe in Kumasi or Accra, somewhere else, and they are doing well, to also come in and support so that if the burden is not on 1 or 2 people and the district assembly is not in a position to really help, then other people can come together, you know, pool their resources together and then provide more so that it relieves your situation a bit faster. I don't know what you think.
Well, that's true, but you know, this is a very vast one. I don't know many of them. It's the chief I talked to.
Okay.
It's a good one I know. But this year, on his birthday, he didn't provide service, but he rather provided library books for the 2 senior highs. But I'm still in touch with him so that he will also talk to you of those people that are outside to also come to our place.
So in your opinion, Madam Director, in your opinion, what would be the best way moving forward to try and bring as quickly as possible infrastructure relief to your district?
You know, we are relying on the district assembly that much.
Yeah.
It's a responsibility of government to provide infrastructure and furniture. But it's just that you and I know that government cannot do all alone unless other people support. So I'm also trying my best, meeting with the chiefs, and then, you know, the place is a very remote area. So getting the people to understand and support is a big problem. And those that are outside, it's difficult reaching out to them. I was only fortunate that the lawyer Buchwan, he came around, he called me, and took it up from there. If not, it's not easy. So I think that is what I'm doing. I'm liaising with the Buchwan to see those that are outside, maybe Upper West region, and can support so that we support us.
All right.
If not, the problem is a huge one.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm sure there are people who are watching us now who hail from the district, you know. So hopefully they'll be touched and they'll be interested in coming to you and you know, lending a supporting hand. So hopefully that should help. Yeah. Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. Thank you. We've been speaking with Madam Aisha Jinon, who is the Y East District Director of Education. Remember, it's not easy anywhere.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And it's simple enough to say that it's government's responsibility. But as we know, you know, government is spread thin because the entire country, you know, scarce resources, everybody has to get some, you know, and it's difficult. I just think that we have to be more creative and come up with more creative ways, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do, and I also think that as a people, right, we need to begin to conscientize ourselves to know that we all have a role to play.
Yeah.
Okay, now we always call for decentralization and all that. Yes, so the assemblies will have to do their part. You know, the schools themselves need to do their part. Parents need to do their part as well. Because if we all sit back and say that we are waiting for the central government to come in to help, look, the central government has issues to deal with. Look at all the people picketing, look at all the people, you know, protesting, and look at our health issues need to be taken care of. General infrastructure, I mean, road networks,
sanitation problems,
everything, you know. So people, individuals, citizens need to now begin to rise up to the occasion and say that, okay, so in our own small ways, this is how we are also coming in to support. Look, we've been talking about sanitary pad for female students and all that, mathematical said, look, if people in Accra are struggling this much, you can imagine how it is like up north, you know, and you cannot, I mean, hide that fact. I mean, we go on Heritage Caravan, you see their living conditions and all that, and really a lot of attention need to go to that area.
Well, we've been joined by Dr. Ira S.K. Mahama, who is the East DCE. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
All right. Now, it seems that you have an uphill task to deal with all the infrastructure challenges within your district. What do you say?
Thank you once again, and I will say good morning to your Charles viewers. Yes, just like you put it, as a sample, we tackle the development issues comprehensively. That means that you need to tackle all the thematic areas. I'm talking of health, education, agri, and then also governance. Yes, but in terms of education, like today, that is a topical. In fact, since I took over for now, I look at the issues and then I try to see how we can come in to try to solve some of them. First of all, we tax the area councils if they get maybe revenue mobilized, they should try to do and help their area of jurisdiction. As well as we also, as government, we so far have taken delivery of 200 dual decks and sent 100 over to the district director of education. As we are talking, I have also in my possession about 300 dual decks, which I'm yet to hand over to the district director for onward distribution. But for the furniture, we also try to tackle the other infrastructure in terms of the education. We have built a teacher's cottage at one of our communities called Kupong, because we realize that as we are trying to see how we can comfort the students or the people, we have to also see how we can also comfort the teachers. So we did that at Kupong, a teacher's cottage. And also a classroom block to accommodate the students. So we built another 3 classroom block at Holomuni and furnished it with all the necessary accessories. So that is education. And of course, within a fiscal year, this is what we're able to do. And we still hope, and we still have plans to do more. Just like I listened to my director, of course, education is a collective responsibility, and so many factors actually come to play, and we all have to try our best to see how possible. But we have been doing well so far because the students too, or the spirit of we want to do and to catch up, because it's a total realization that it's like for us, the only option we have to compete with the world is to take our education seriously, because we don't have the cocoa, we don't have the goals and all that. So I will tell you, I'm a product of a school and a tree. But I'm talking to you as a doctor now. This will tell you that where you are coming from, do not determine where you can reach. So, and that is the spirit that is in every what is people, that if they are going to school, they look forward to catch up with the world. And how will they do that? They have to do that by learning, whether the conditions are favorable or not. But they take up the spirit of to learn and then catch up with the world. So far, this is what we are doing in a small way to educate our people.
The deficit in terms of how many how much furniture you need to be able to, break even, as it were, and for every student to have, a chair to sit on. Do you have an idea of the numbers?
Yes, I think for now, we don't really have to maybe to just say it's like people are not. It's like when you go to most of the schools, what you will see is that maybe either they are broken furniture or that. So we are actually trying to see how we can, because if not, those without furniture, not more than maybe 500, which we are tackling now, because so far we received 500, yes, furniture. So for now, I think hopefully if finally the education director takes delivery of the issue of everybody getting furniture now will be solved, and it will now level with maintenance of the old.
So you are saying that with about 500 dual desks, you should be okay?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
For now.
All right.
Please.
All right. Well, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. We appreciate your time.
You.
All right.
Thank
so
you.
we've been speaking
Yeah.
with Dr. Ira S.K. Mahama, who is the East DCE. Well, like we said, there are challenges everywhere. I just think that when we talk about a collective responsibility, I just think that somebody has to spearhead that, and say, okay, we're waiting for money from government. Where else can we get money from? And sometimes you don't even need money. You need support. You need people to say, we will finance it. So we will spend the money. We will send it to you.
Yeah.
We are not giving you cash.
Yeah.
But we will order it and say, build this number.
Yeah, they need about 500 desks,
yes,
right?
dual desks,
And I think that as citizens, I would just keep hammering on this.
Yeah.
We also need to know that we owe our communities a certain level of responsibility, okay? And so if we have, there are prominent people who have come from WA.
Yeah.
So if all of them, come together, if we have maybe one person say that I can give 5, another person comes in, I can give 10. By the time you realize, we have about 200.
Yeah.
We have about 300. Yeah. And so if we are calling on central government to also come in to support, I'm not saying that the central government should shirk their responsibilities, no. But whilst we wait, what happens to the children? Because these are really pressing issues. I always ask myself that, yes, so if we even go into farming and we are planting stuff, what happens between the period, of planting and harvesting? Yeah. People must eat. So in as much as central government is also prepping themselves to come and give support, what happens today? What happens tomorrow? And I think that citizens must also know their level of responsibility when it comes to contributing, giving back to your own society. If we decide, that we leave everything in the hands of central government, look, I can assure you, let me borrow the words of politicians, I can assure you that there are certain things that will not be done. Because really, at this point, in as much as desks are very important, this is a pressing need for the people of WA. I do not think that it is government's priority. It is not.
It's not on the top 10 or top
50. It is not. Do you understand? Because there are also schools in Accra who need desks. There are schools in Ashanti region, schools everywhere, and roads as well. So there are, in order of priority, so many things come before desks to WA. So if the people from these communities do not come together to say that, how are we supporting our own? The people who have gone through these institutions, the old students, where are you? This is how you can also contribute and support your alma mater. And it is very important that we begin to think along these lines, because really, look, it's going to get worse. If you say we are sitting down to wait for central government, the little we have will also go. And very soon you see the school that you went to, the students sitting on the background.
You see, and just to borrow from an idea that people have implemented in other places, people, you know, create endowment funds, right, in schools in the US, right? They create endowment funds to support their schools. Now, it's not government's money. It's actually individuals who pass through the school. They are doing well in life, and they say that we're going to give back to the school, and they demand accountability on the endowment funds. It's not a free-for-all for people to just dip their hands in and chop whatever they want. No. Everything is scrutinized, everything is monitored, and at the end of the year, you always write reports and show how much money came in, how much money has been spent, how it was spent, all of that. I think that we need to build that culture so that, because look, if there's 35 million or so of us, right? Imagine what the capacity we have to do if everybody is contributing a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit out of what you have been able to make.
And I think, David, as a people, okay, when we talk of old school unions, most of the time we start from senior high school.
Yes, secondary.
But we all came from primary school. We all came from junior high. You understand? What about those children? And what we are not realizing is these are the children in their formative years. Okay? If we neglect them, it has a very huge telling effect on who they grow up to be.
It's almost too late by the time they get to secondary school.
Look, and I always say that if we're not careful, the kind of how we handle our little children, we are putting something in their minds. We are grooming enemies of the state. And so when people get up and say that, okay, so I have finished teacher training, I've finished nursing school, I want to leave Ghana, I want to go somewhere, we now begin to let them know that, so we have huge, what is the ratio of doctor to patient ratio? What do they care? But when they were suffering in primary school, what did the state do? What did we as a people do? You understand? There are people who have gone through certain experiences, and so they feel that they also owe their community something. I mean, giving back to them. This has nothing to do with central government, but certain communities have been able to put some structures together, some funds together to support their own people. And so when you look at certain communities and you see how they are thriving, and also how they pay allegiance to their traditional leaders and to their society, their own community, you do not understand, because they know that the area, the community in which they lived supported them. They pushed them. So you also owe it to the little ones coming up, you know, what the community gave you. But if I get up and I sit on the floor to do my homework, I struggle through this, no chair, no table, no nothing, nobody cares. I see DCEs, I see the education directors come in with their huge cars, they come and walk around and they go, and I'm still sitting on the floor, and I finish my school, you know, and then they come and tell me that you don't always think about what your what you can do, the nation can do for you. Think of what I will think of what the nation did for me. We are not saying that the nation should come and do so much, but there are basic things that should be in place, like getting a chair and a table to sit on, like getting a sanitary pad as a young girl, you know. All these are ways that we are developing our young people, and so they grow up and they are so detached from anything
they don't
nationalistic.
Want to be involved. They
There's
don't
nothing.
Want to
we preach patriotism when already people's minds are made up. Okay, you instill patriotism
by
at
what
the
you do for them
primary level, and it is not by saying it. It is your action, and children grab these things very well, you know, and leaders to oppressors rule. And look, today oppression has moved from a different angle. Letting them sit on the floor is oppression.
And I think that, I mean, as much as we have patriotic songs, it's not the songs that will make us patriotic. It's not.
That's what a song, great composition. They are nice.
The love
exactly.
we feel for the country because of what we are benefiting from the country. This is what will make us feel patriotic and we want to do something for our country.
You know, when you're in a relationship
Yeah.
and you keep telling your partner, I love you, and your actions are different. You are saying the thing,
Yeah,
but
you're
it
not-
is
yeah,
meaningless
it's
to the
meaningless,
person.
yes,
All right?
absolutely.
And so most of the time, certain things are per demonstration
Yeah.
and not what we open our mouths to say,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's about your action.
Yeah.
So if you say we care for the young people, if we are every day, these are the future leaders, really, what kind of leaders are we expecting these
Yeah.
ones to grow up to be?
To become, yeah. Anyway, well, it's time for us to take a quick break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere.